Hello, everyone. Hello. All right. Another activity is for our letter I. Our letter I, we are doing instruments. Okay. So there's a couple of different instruments that I want to make together with you that we can make at home. And remember, music is such a great way of actually connecting to ourselves. So by using rhythm and melody and sound, we can actually connect to it through our own heartbeat, through our own breathing. So it's actually pretty interesting, especially with drums. I did a video about sounds and strategies. And so when we are having a slower melody, a slower beat, our heart rate actually tries to match that melody. And so our heart rate can slow down. So if we are feeling like our heart is racing very, very fast, when we listen to a song or a sound that has a slower melody, our heart rate starts to sync up to it, or it can sync up to it. And that's something that can give us a slower heart rate and help us to calm down and feel a little more calm. So, if we think about music that makes us get up and jump around and dance, it's usually fast pace, fast melody, right? So our heart rate syncs up to that. It's a louder sound and a faster sound. A louder sound and a faster sound, and our heart rate syncs up to it, and that's what gets us moving, getting us up, getting us high energy. Okay, if we have high energy and we want to lower our energy a little bit, then what we can do is have a sound or melody with a slower melody, a slower beat. And then that way, when our heart rate syncs up to that, it will give us, a chance to calm down a little bit, a chance to slow our heart rate. And with our heart rate, our breathing rate, so music can actually be something that can connect to us internally as well and change how we're feeling internally, either increased energy or lower energy. Okay, and it's different for everyone, but music can be very, very cool. And even just for fun, music is a cool way to express yourself, a cool way of creativity. All right, so I have some different instruments that I want to be making with you today. Oops. And I think you will like them. All right, the first one of my favorite ones. So if you don't have an instrument at home, you can still make one and play along with me here. Okay, the first one is a guitar. So how do we make a guitar? We use a tissue paper box. Okay, so I have one that's empty, right? And what do? How do we turn this into a guitar? So a key that we need to do is using either a little piece of cardboard I have here, or any other kind of, I think even paper folded multiple times together might do the trick. But this is really what's going to help us. So what we do is we're going to get some glue, and we're going to glue this at one side of our tissue box. All right, so I'm going to get some glue, and this glue is coming right over to the end already. Okay, get some glue on the end. All right, and I am just going to let this glue. So and give it another fold just so it stays folded. All right, and I want it to glue just like this. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of tape and put it on here as well, just to help hold it in place. All right, so I'm going to have a piece of tape that's going to try to keep this curve this way. And keep this curve this way. I'm going to do the same thing here for this other curve. Okay. On the other side. Okay, so now it's here in this triangle pattern and it's gluing. All right, so let's pause the video and let's give this a chance to glue. Okay, so this is about 1 hour later. It's not fully dry. You can see it's starting to dry, but it's not fully dry, but just want to move on to another instrument. So just wanted to finish up our guitar here. Okay, so the key here is getting this triangle fold. So I think we can accomplish it with paper as long as we have something so that when we use our strings, which could be rubber bands, if you have these large rubber bands, or string. So string, we would just, if you have a hot glue gun, of course, being very careful with it, right? We might need some supervision with that for our students. Can get the strings on the back here and bring them over. And by having this triangle, it just gives it a little bit of an arch. So instead of just being flat, now it's going to be raised a little bit. And that's just going to allow it to have more of a sound. So let's see, it's not fully glued, fully dried. The glue's not fully dried. Let's see if we can do like a ukulele for now. So we have 6 strings on a guitar, and our ukulele is just 4, usually, right? So whoop, let's see if we can turn this into a ukulele. I give it a little stretch before I get it on. And just making sure my strings are all even. Looking good. So far, so good. Nice coordination activity here, using both hands together. Bilateral coordination. Okay, let's see if it'll hold one more. Not rushing to get these on. It's not fully dried. Okay, number 4. All right, we are in business. So we have our guitar, ukulele, right, which is still a string instrument. So let's see. So guitar is a nice way to just practice getting our fingers one at a time. We can squeeze these together and get some extra strings on here, but once there's too many, it might be hard to grab one at a time. So this kind of allows us to practice using one finger at a time. So we can get one finger at a time for each string, right? Both hands have to work together as one hand is holding our guitar, holding our ukulele. We can go and challenge by trying to get not only just all the fingers strumming, but one finger at a time. And we can hear how when we play closer to the top versus towards the bottom, it's a little different. Right, and in different directions towards ourselves or away. Okay, we have some different sounds. Two at the same time. And we can make some beautiful music just like that. Okay, our instrument 1 is our guitar slash ukulele string instrument here. Okay, let's go on to our instrument number 2. Okay. Okay, the next instrument is going to be our paper plate tambourine. So, see if you have 2 paper plates. And this is a pretty simple one to make. Okay, so what we're going to do is just put these 2 plates on top of each other just like this. All right, so with these plates, we can use either glue, right, hot glue, or Elmer's glue, tape, or stapler. I like the stapler because it's a good way to practice grasping skills as well. So holding the stapler to staple, okay, or if we're on the table, then just having the stapler, we have to push onto it. A nice way to just practice just the strength of the hand, right? And we might switch over to the other side to make sure that we're holding it even. We can do this standing if we want to. Stapling is usually something that is really enjoyed. We just staple all along our tambourine here. You can use 2 hands or 1 hand. Okay, the staples, just be careful. Make sure they're all fully in so that there's nothing pointy coming out. And we keep on going. And when we get to the top, okay, leave a little space open on the top. So I have just a couple of inches of a space. And here we can put something into the mouth here, right? So this can be a whole activity on its own using either like a pincer grasp pattern. So I have a mix of different things that I was using in my rain stick, which you'll see in letter R. So they're really small. It's a mix of lentils, buckwheat, and rice. Okay, so, if I try to pick up just one lentil at a time, it's hard to really get a good grasp of it, and it might take a very long time. Okay, but it's a good way just to practice using that grip, that grasp, right? So picking up and trying to get it in there, right? Even picking up multiple. So even if I'm trying to hold a bunch of them in my hand, it's actually just working on some manipulation skills within my fingers themselves, trying to pick this up and scoop it. We can always add a utensil here, like a spoon, which I don't believe I have one here nearby, but using a utensil to help us, pick this up and almost feed it here into the mouth. We can switch hands, trying with the other hand. Okay, so it's a nice way to practice different grasping skills, right? Maybe we're using 3 fingers. Maybe we're raking with all of our fingers. So if you're putting from the table, you can do it like that, right? Or if you want to just use the cup or a funnel, and that is a quicker, more effective way. But again, this is just a way to practice some of those skills. So we open the mouth a little bit, those fine motors. Okay. Sometimes I pour too much, so I hope I didn't do that here. We will find out. All right, then we close it off with our stapler. 1, 2, 3. And now we have our paper plate tambourine. So we can play it different ways. Okay, and that becomes our paper plate tambourine. We can also use this for our next instrument, which becomes our drums. Okay, for drums, we're going to see what kind of household items we have and we can use to make our drum set. So For drums, if you have any empty tins, you can always put something on top, right, that resembles like a leather, and um, tie it around. So I have some different things. I don't have an empty tin, but I have this milk chocolate tin. I have this plum tomatoes. Okay, here's my maraca. I have a pot for boiling eggs. Actually, I like this part too, so maybe I'll do it like this. Okay, and then I have these two mixing bowls. One is metal, one is plastic. So let's see. All right, so for our drums, we can use either our fingers, right, or we can use a tool like pencils or any other kind of long item, such as ruler or even sticks from outside, or any kind of sticks, an empty toilet paper roll, right? Even just seeing how different sounds would sound on those instruments. So does it sound different from the fingers than the pencils? Or what about if now we use instead popsicle sticks? Right, so do the popsicle sticks sound different? Popsicle sticks or pencils? Okay, or our hands. So, using different items, seeing how the different sounds sound, how the different sounds work. Let me see if I can position a little better here. So, this becomes our drum set. So see what different items you have: buckets, tin cans, bowls or pots and pans, plates, right? Plastic plates, any different things. See what you have at home that you can turn into our drum set. And then with the drum set, remember, either using our hands or using a tool. And what about one hand on the drums and one hand on the tool? Or one hand on one drum, one hand on another, rather? So you get some different action from each hand, right? And remember, we can use our hands, or what about our fingers? It's a good way to dissociate our fingers. So with our fingers, okay, if you see some ones that you don't like, for example, you can move those out of the picture, right? See if we can move these around a little bit. Let's change it up. What if we try this? I'm going to use my fingers. Okay, what about using a tool, right? So maybe pencils. and you don't really have to know what you're doing, as you can tell. Woo! So having some fun, right? And that's what it's about. So we have our guitar, we have our tambourine, right? You can mix them together. You have siblings, family, can do a band together, okay? And here I have one more for you. So hang on 1 second. Let's see. Let me put these away for a moment. Okay, our last one is our straw flute. Have you seen this one? So our straw flute will be our last one. It is a wind instrument, our flute. Okay, so these are some new straws. Let me open them up. Okay, these are paper straws, which are good for the environment. Okay, so let's see if we can get maybe a couple of straws here, right? And we can see if we can create our instrument. So we want two, I'm gonna make two at a time that are the same size, and then I'm gonna tape those two together, and then I'm gonna keep taping as I go. Okay, so first I'm taping just two together. I want them to be the same length, so I push them into the table so they're the same, and then I give about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay, and I put these two together. Okay, then for my next ones, I'm gonna get my scissors. I want to cut them just not really sure exactly the dimensions, just taking a guess, just trying to make them about the same. So cut them a little bit down. Okay, open it up. All right, now my two pieces that I just cut, I'm going to tape those together. Okay, make sure the ends are open. And since I cut them, they might not be as wide open. Leaving them open. And I want to give about 1 inch space, just so there's some room to blow into. Okay, and I want to keep these two that I cut off. I don't want to throw them away. All right, and I keep going. Two more. Maybe I'll make it a tiny bit higher. Okay, so it's progressively getting smaller, but I'm also not going to throw away these pieces that I'm cutting off because I'm going to use them. So this way we waste as minimal straw as possible. So same thing, put these two next to each other. A little bit of space at the bottom. Tape them together. Let's see, so now from the ones that I cut off, right, let me tape the ones that I cut off together. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So I could probably get one more straw in here. Let's see if I could just cut it in half. So I don't have a ruler. I estimate about here is halfway. Okay, not bad. I am slightly off. So I cut it just a little bit more. Even it out. Take these two together. And I think we are all set. All right. Now we just need to tape them all together. So here's going to be a tricky part. Okay, we want to tape them and make sure that they are all even. So we start the tape here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is stand these next to each other so that the bottoms are even. Okay. Slowly bringing this tape across. Okay, let me turn it a little so you can see. So keeping it nice and even. Okay, and I didn't cut enough tape. So one more piece of tape. Okay, make sure everything is nice and close together, nice and tight. And we have our straw flute. Okay, now just to give it a try. Whoa. Good way to practice our breathing, work on that oral motor control, right? Encourage and motivate breathing through our wind instruments. So we made our different instruments, our string, wind, percussion. I think that's what drums are, right? Our tambourine. So a lot of different instruments here. Can you hear? All right, so our letter I, musical instruments. See what instruments you can make at home. See what instruments are your favorite. All right, good luck, have fun, enjoy, and these are pretty cool. So I hope you have fun, all right, and have some good practice of different skills while making it. All right, thank you so much for watching, enjoy, and I hope it works out great for you as well. All right, take care, thank you.